Do you have to eat right now, Sparta? Anyway, welcome back, guys, to another episode of ChaseOff's. It's your host, Chase. I'm about to go off on Kirby's motherfucking goddamn AirRide. Holy shit. If you have not played this game, it's a good damn game. It's a pretty fun game to play. A little simple, but it's a good way to waste a couple hours, honestly. If you're looking into buying some old GameCube games, I highly recommend this one. I played the shit out of this as a kid. I'm an only child. I didn't have a whole lot of people to play with. This game offers bot support. Kirby AirRide. Let's get into it. Kirby's AirRide is a goddamn gift of a game. It's just a simple racing game, similar to that of Mario Kart, of course. It's the easiest comparison to make. The game consists of 3 overall game modes. The first one, being AirRide, is the main game mode of the game. As you join in, you'll be greeted with a map selection. You can pick out any of 9 total maps. One of them you have to unlock. After that, you get to pick from 14 different rides. 13 of those you have to unlock as well. You also get 2 different unlockable characters and a couple different colors of Kirby's. Unlocking can be done just by completing a couple different milestones throughout the game on a checklist, sort of that of Smash Brothers. As you can see, I don't have everything. I had a lot of stuff, not everything still. I did have a lot of stuff in my original file, but I erased it because I wanted to unlock everything on stream. But then I remembered that one of the maps you have, or the only map you have to unlock, you have to play through 100 laps of one single map, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that on stream. But I am still gonna play it on stream, so check me out there. Anyway, before you start each race, you can also change the rules. Certain things like changing the number of laps, or laps versus time, different power-ups throughout the map, or my personal favorite, the ride damage. Right as the game loads, well, the little Kirbites line up on the line, and then that fucking soundtrack just kicks. Oh my god, this soundtrack in this game is so fucking good. I just listen to this shit. Listen. Every level has its own soundtrack, somewhat based on the theme of that level itself, and each one is great. It's so good. Every world is this surreal looking world, anywhere from this ice level flying through the sky with this giant ice whale that flies over the map to the sky sands and this desert theme. Oh, this game is brilliant. While you're racing, you'll notice little enemies on the sides of the road. You can't necessarily call them enemies, they kind of just stand and watch. But Kirby's hungry little ass likes to suck these guys up and absorb them and use their abilities against the other racers. This will either slow them down, or if you have ride damage on, fucking obliterate them. And watch their round little puffball bodies flop around as they die of no ride-itis. Every ride has its own attributes. The Warp Star is basically the standard. It's the one you start with, and it has good overall stats. The Wing Star is one of my favorites. It gains speed while it's in the air, and it has very good flight control, but it's not as fast on the ground. The Wagon Star isn't bad either. It has a high top speed with good acceleration, but it can't boost and it doesn't fly very well. So, everything has its own uses and everything has its own attributes, and you kind of develop your own style of play as you want. Speaking of the boost, your Kirby can do various things, all while really only using 2 controls. You use the joystick to move, you kind of flick it side to side, you can do this sick ass spin move, and then you press A to literally do anything else. A will suck if an enemy is nearby. At the same time, it'll also push your ride down to the ground if it's hovering. This will allow you to either drift a corner, touch a boost that's on the ground, and it'll also build your boost as you drift the corner. Sort of like in, again, Mario Kart. The winner is decided just like any race, person in first wins. Simple as that. It's a very simple racing game. Having the inclusions of the different enemies on the map that you can use and absorb does keep things interesting, and the map designs and layouts themselves are very nice. But only having 9 maps can kind of, grow tiring after some time. Especially because there's not really a tournament mode or anything like that. So you just kind of play a race, and then it's done. Little simple, kind of wish there was more involving in that. But there's still 2 other game modes. Next mode on the list is called Top Ride. It's a very simplified version of the game. The maps are smaller, and the view is top-down. There are only 2 different rides in this mode, both dictated by their control scheme. The free star goes wherever you point your joystick, and then the steer star just kind of steers left and right with the joystick. Both somewhat feel awkward, but I feel like the free star is probably the least awkward. Honestly, this whole game mode kind of just feels like a mobile game, like as if it's some sort of like party game on the side of a whole Kirby story game, you know what I mean? It kind of just feels like an extra thought. It's not bad per se, but it doesn't really make sense in my opinion. But the last mode is probably the best mode. Last game mode on the list is City Trial, which is essentially Kirby AirRide. Why can't I say this? Kirby AirRide Battle Royale.
City Trial places you and 3 other brave, soulless sucking machines in a doomed city where you must fight for survival. Find power-ups in the world, gear up, and get ready to face off.
Alright, it's not necessarily that intense, but it can be intense. In City Trial, all players start off with the same compact star, basically just the lowest stats. At this point now, all Kirbys must fly around, collect various power-ups to boost their performance. Different things like speed, the boost itself, glide, weight, all things like that. Once the timer runs out, then everybody goes and does a single event. Be it a destruction derby, be it a drag race, or just a single race around a random map. However, before that happens, you can run around the world in City Trial and find random little rides around that you can take over and start boosting the stats of those. There are random events that trigger throughout the map too. Things as simple as all the crates contain the same power-up or the same ability. Fog will come and roll through the city, making you basically blind. A little guy will come stealing power-ups and dropping them off if you hit him, all the way up to a fucking UFO. On top of that too, at a certain point, some crates will start carrying ride parts. There are 2 legendary rides in this game that you can only have in City Trial. These rides are rare and you have to come across the crates in certain locations on the map. The first ride is the Dragoon, and of the 2 legendaries, it's probably the lesser of the 2 legendaries. It has the best flight stats. You can fly like crazy and control it like crazy, and the speed on the ground is great and control is great too. However, the Hydra is a beast. It has the highest damage output of all the rides. It has the highest acceleration and the highest top speed. This thing just fucking goes. Only problem is, it runs on essentially fuel. You have to fully charge your meter, and once that meter is fully charged, then you can actually operate and go. The meter then depletes over time, but your car picks up speed like no other, and it just fucking flies. If you melee any enemy, it does this dash boost and just fucking obliterates them in one hit. But once you run out of charge, you're not moving anymore. As I said, these challenges are fun. They range anywhere between, like I said, demolition derbies to single races to full-on death matches as well. These modes can be played without City Trial, but City Trial really makes these events. The fact that you can get different power-ups each time really makes everything just random. Every single time you play City Trial, it's different. The random event is different, the rides that you come across are different, the crates are all different, you'll just find different power-ups all the way. This mode really makes this game what it is. Kirby AirRide itself is fun, and the races are fun, but having just this complete randomness of City Trial where any ride now, the stats don't necessarily fully matter, because you can just pick up different stats as you go. Different rides all the same too. Every ride is fully unlocked. You don't have to unlock them before you play City Trial. You can just find them in the world. It's super, super fun. The game's great. I love this game. It's so good. I only hope that they make... I'd rather not a remake. I'd rather something original, like at least a Kirby AirRide 2 or something like that. More content, like new content. But if they just remade this game, hell, if they even just remade City Trial, I'd be super happy with that. I think that idea is just unique. It's really cool. It's super fun. I can't recommend this game enough. But anyway, thanks for sitting through another one of my reviews. Again, if you liked what you saw, please hit subscribe. Share with a friend as well. That would really help me out a lot. Any critiques, anything you want to say, please leave them in the comment section below. Yeah, I'm Chase, and I'm off.